Data is at the heart of all marketing campaigns these days, but how do you take that data and apply it to a brand that's been around for a long time? One brand like Mr Kipling. Catherine Haigh, you've been in charge of that brand. You took things right back to the very beginning to see how the business was performing. What did you find?
Yeah, so that's right. When I first joined on the brand, we saw that it was in decline, so I wanted to look at what the main experiences are that the consumer has with the brand. So looking back at the advertising campaign that we had and whether that was giving the right message to consumers, looking back at the packaging that we had on shelf and whether it was easier for consumers to pick up and something that they really wanted to buy, and then also looking at our cakes and whether they were exceedingly good cakes that we were delivering from Mr Kipling.
What did you discover? It wasn't all good news by the sound of it, and what techniques were you using to establish this?
Right, so one of the first things we did was look at the comms. So we looked at the comms that we had in 2015 and was really looking what is the key message that we're putting out there to consumers, and was that advertising driving brand sales? So we looked at econometric data that looks on the return on investment of advertising, and we saw that it really wasn't returning for us. Also looking at brand tracking data, and again at that time the key messages that we were putting out there just weren't motivating to consumers. Just felt that what we were putting out there to consumers wasn't really playing on the strengths of what we see for the Mr Kipling brand.
Quite a bold move to pretty much step away from advertising for 6 months to really get your ducks in a row. Was that the right thing to have done?
I think you always have to think about the future and the growth potential for the future. So what we wanted to do was just get something that was really right for our brand, something that we could all get behind. Because a lot of it also is about the internal feeling within the company. I feel that we had lost maybe some of the love that we had for the brand, so we needed to get together as a team and celebrate what we were good at. And we needed to really get our brand positioning right and launch a new comms campaign that we could all feel proud of, that was very strong for our brand. So it was definitely the right decision.
But essentially, Mr Kipling as a cake brand is still Mr Kipling. Are we going to continue to see changes, and what are those changes likely to be?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're the leading cake brand in the UK, and it's really important for us to be keeping up with the times. So we're constantly looking out for the trends and for the next big things. We have big MPD launches planned this year, and innovation is, now we've done our brand positioning, we've also put through a recent pack design. Innovation is the key focus for us, so we're going to see some great product launches coming from Mr Kipling over the next year or so.
Do you think that sort of data and insights teams get the kind of kudos that perhaps they deserve within not just the marketing function but the business as a whole?
Yeah, it's really tricky actually. There's a quote that I've heard saying like the marketeers are the magicians and the insight people are the spellbooks behind that, and you know that is how it feels sometimes, and it's you know I'm not particularly happy with that. You know, I want to be the magician too. So that's why it's great to come to a conference like Quirks and meet with fellow insight people and talk about how we can drive impact internally and get recognition for the work that we do. Because quite often we see the success and the insight behind it is not always cited or known or remembered about.
You talked about the econometrics that you use on this project, and we heard in the last few days the IAB quite cheekily saying that you need to start measuring return on investment on particularly advertising in a different way. What's your take on that?
I haven't read anything from the IAB, but I mean we're always looking for new methods. It's a really hard thing with measuring return on investment of advertising. It's quite hard even in econometrics to completely isolate the effects. For example, we had packaging change and communication change at the same time. You know, the data people are telling us you've got to isolate them so we can understand the impact, but we know from a sales point of view we have to launch both of those things together to get the maximum uplift or impact. So any methods or any new ways of looking at how we can measure effectiveness, we're definitely open to.
Catherine, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm James Wright, and thanks for watching Marketing Media Money. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thanks for watching.